and non-citizens on the other.
I'm a citizen, what's up?
Get over there.
Good work. Non-citizens.
I just said where I was.
Prices of birth.
Hey, I saved this to my phone. I'm not gonna load.
Are you all citizens?
Yes.
Okay, Dan.
Okay, no wait.
Dan for interfering with the Althing.
non-citizens do we have? Really? Like seriously, how many non-citizens do we have? That's what I'm wondering.
Hey, I'm Graham Juice. I'm just a citizen, right?
Non-citizens. Citizens.
I choose a citizen.
I'll stand on this side because citizens are over there. I thought we were starting. Fuck. There's gonna be a lot of wasted hours or minutes.
Not wasted.
All right, before we get to what's on the agenda, I have a few announcements. Our minors policy, we caught kids running around without parents. We had to escort them back to their camp to get the parents. There was a little girl running around with a stick that was on fire, and she was going to throw it into the woods. Can we please not burn this place down? We are going to start enforcing that minors policy. And if you look over it, it goes to warning. And if it continues to happen, you will be asked to leave. No refunds, sorry, not sorry. Because your kids running around, if they get hurt, they are a liability to us. Yes, thank you. Second, I know we all like to party, and once the alcohol starts flowing, we can get a little rowdy. I know last night there was a group of like 30, 40 people walking around. I understand we're here to have a good time. It doesn't mean you have to be complete asshats about it. If you are by a campsite and someone asked you to please shut the fuck up and leave, you shut the fuck up and leave. All right, so the first thing on the agenda, I kind of snuck this in for me just because Paul brought it up to me last Sunday when I brought up the contract and the check for the site. To reserve the site, we have to. Do I need this? Can I just talk?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I feel dumb because there's not a lot of people here like last time. All right. So to reserve this site, we need a check of $500 for a deposit. Once the event is over, if there's any incidentals, such as maybe someone smashed the window, that comes out of our deposit. You're also going to get a stern talking to, maybe social Amish shunning. I don't know. It hasn't happened yet, and I don't want it to. But that $500, Paul said he can let it ride to the next event. So basically, it wouldn't be we get $500 back, then in a few months we have to cut another check and send it off. This is just literally a way to make things easier. However, I haven't talked to Paul about this yet. If we decide to let the $500 deposit ride, I don't know if that means we have to, at that time, go, we want this weekend. Keith, we don't have to worry about that. But for November, I understand that is out of my control because I might not be Monarch. So the next Monarch might go, I want to hold it this weekend. Are we cool with letting the $500 ride forward to our next deposit?
All in favor?
All
opposed?
All right.
Thanks.
The next question is, our November event is normally held the first or second weekend of the month. If Paul allows us to kind of do a soft, we're going to take one of those two, I'm perfectly okay with that. Then that means it is up to the next person. But if we need to set a date, and we might be able to change this later on. Are we cool with trying for maybe the second weekend of November? Because I know last Bridge Wars was held a week early. So if we need to choose a weekend, would we be cool with the second weekend in November? Yes, Yori. Oh, sorry.
Seconded. Right.
So,
So all in favor of the second weekend of November if we must make a selection of a weekend?
yes. Wait, what?
I would not push it any further than the second weekend because.
No, it would not. It would either be first or second because once you get to third, you run into the possibility of like Thanksgiving, the weather getting shittier.
Really shitty weather.
Yes, that's why I'm saying traditionally our November event is held first or second weekend.
Yes.
The only thing with that is the second weekend is Veterans Day. I don't know if people will be wanting to do stuff for the holidays that weekend.
Wait, for November?
Veterans Day is November. The 11/11.
When did that happen?
Forever. World War II.
No, I thought it was a different month. That's what, like, okay.
Memorial Day is May.
Yeah, Memorial Day, yeah.
We're using Labor Day.
I was thinking Labor Day.
That's
Okay.
September.
That's
That's my sister's birthday weekend.
I'm bad at holidays.
Okay.
I'd
So,
rather do it on.
second
First
weekend?
weekend would be a lot better for that reason, though.
What's the first weekend?
The 4th and the 5th. The only thing important technically is daylight savings time.
And then what are the dates for the second weekend?
The 10th, the 11th and the 12th is Saturday and Sunday, so the 9th and the 10th are the Thursday and Friday.
We already have enough trouble with time.
Yeah, so Art.
The one thing I want to say about putting in the first weekend is right now there's in our corpora rules for the quals entries. Rules for Weapon Master, Dragon Master have to be out like 4 weeks ahead of time. Like last time we ran into a problem because the event actually made it where the officers weren't in office before they needed to have their rules out.
Like we did it like the Tuesday following, yeah.
Right. And that no fault to you guys. It was like just a weird. Our event schedule and our corpora didn't match up. So try to follow the rules if we're gonna have them.
Okay, so,
Sorry.
all right. So, all in favor of first weekend? Raise your hand. All in favor of second weekend? Raise your hand. All right, so we're gonna try to push for second weekend, and I'll see if we can if we have to change it, then I will talk to Paul and I will make a post about it.
Yeah, that wasn't making it that weekend.
Yeah,
It was
what-
just, if we can or have to, we will make it the second. We will then change if need be.
All right. Second thing, this was brought up by Saladin, who's not here, so I will talk about it.
Salad man.
Yeah, Salaman. Right now, the Prime Minister has in our corpora, he can spend, just like the Monarch, 10%, at the most $400 to do their job. Saladin wants to half that. So it's still going to be 10% for the Prime Minister, but then since we've also taken the money handling portion off of that and put it on the Treasurer, it would still, like I said, it'd still be 10% for both, but with a cap of $200 a month. The reason for that is we have sort of little bitty monthly bills, such as for storage and whatnot, like little incidentals. This will help the treasurer who has the key to the storage be able to pay for this. We're not giving anybody any extra money. We're literally just spreading out the same amount to two people.
So just so everybody can understand, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago is when we enacted the BOD Treasurer policy, which is at the same time while Saladin was our Prime Minister, has been Prime Minister, and has been Treasurer. This needs to happen because we have incidental, as Kai was indicating, that we need to pay for, and he is no longer going to be KPM, which means he does not have access to that 10% to continue to do what he is doing, as the money handler of Treasurer as well. So if you want to explain why we need to separate them, that is the main reason why.
Motion to vote.
Motion to vote? Cool. Motion to vote. Everybody in favor of splitting and giving the 200 to each position? Any against? Boo.
All right, that passes. Next, this was presented by Yorick. Section change 4.4.1.8 for our quals. to qualify for office, it says you have to have, for champion, 4 items of equipment. For regent, 2. It's either 2 or 3, and monarch is definitely 3. It just says classifications of amp guard equipment. If you look in the rule book, it's a little murky on what exactly counts. So what York is proposing is for us to codify what exactly is classified as amp guard equipment. Did you want to say? Do you want me to just read?
Basically, in our Kapora, we don't have something that says what official amp guard equipment is. So rather than having to try to figure it out for the rule book, there is a list that will be in the Kapora, and you're like, hey, this is the stuff.
You want me to read the list?
I mean, if people want to hear it.
You guys want to hear like what the different classifications would be?
Just
Yeah.
whatever you need to play.
Okay. Non-ranged equipment type. So basically dagger, short, hinged, long, great Madu, shields fall under this. Ranged equipment. This is where you get into the projectiles and stuff. So you have light, heavy, javelin, rocks, bow, crossbow, siege. Next one is ammunition. And this will include spell strips. If you're going to enter spell strips into quals, make sure they're really nice. But spell balls, arrows, bolts, class sash, class favorite. Well, it's ammunition / other. It's kind of like the rest of it. Armor type. In our when we do the categories thing, I believe this falls under active construction. But this would be armor type, and this is where you get the synthetic cloth, light leather, strong leather, which I guess would be hardened leather, chainmail, butted plate, scale, laminar.
Lamellar.
Words are hard. Brigandine, plate. Then next, and this was the one where this is where this was called into question, garb. Because you need garb, you kind of need garb to play, especially since didn't we enact part of our corpora saying you have to wear garb at tournaments?
Yeah.
So if it's a required equipment as per our corpora and it's kind of in the rule books, it counts as equipment. So and this isn't going to be broken down into specifically tunic, surcoat, whatever. It would be literally torso, bottom, full body, monster. Yes.
Just looking for clarification. Like, it's supposed to be 3 different, right?
Yes,
Correct.
3 different. So this would help.
Okay, so each of those subcategories is a different.
Yes, each of the subcategories would be a different one.
Yeah. So you could do 4 swords, different swords, great, short, dagger. Like me!
Yeah.
And a haiku.
And a haiku! Yeah! Remember, print that on really nice paper. Don't, and then sign it. Don't just print it. They're not.
Okay. Any other questions? This is basically just codifying what we mean by equipment, just so we don't run into the "is this equipment" argument at the quals tourney.
Sweet, seconded.
All right.
Motion to vote. All right, all in favor of adding this to the corpora? All against? Huzzah, it passed.
Yay. All right. Next one also by Tyler.
Dang it.
Yeah. He was busy. He did this on mobile. All right. He wanted to replace section 4.2.1.4, where it says under the limits of the office Kingdom Monarch with the following. Did you?
Okay, so basically it's just separating part 1 into 2 sentences for easy readability.
So this is just more like
So
formatting thing.
when they screw up, they're removed from office, and then we can hold an Althing for the exceptions. It's just splitting up the sentence. That way it's not as hard to determine, because a lot of people are confused that we had to have an Althing or remove the monarch.
Right now, it reads as a. I didn't put that on. Oh no, I see what you did. So basically, what he's saying is, right now in our corpora, it says you have to have an Althing to then remove the monarch. To give it like special circumstances. This is just simply, yeah. This is simply splitting it up and making it a bit more cohesive, legible, comprehensive. This one change. Alright. That's it?
All it's doing
It
is,
wouldn't change any of the act.
it doesn't change anything. All it does is fix, it turns one sentence that's kind of hard to interpret into two sentences that give you the better interpretation.
Alright, so,
Motion to vote. Seconded.
is there any
All in favor of the format change in the corpora to take the one sentence and split it into 2 points? It's the same stuff, just one sentence, 2 points instead. All in favor of that change? All opposed? Huzzah, it passed.
Alright, next one, also from Yorick. He did this all on mobile, so we're gonna. Our Grand Duchy section in the corpora. Just they are steps and rules that you have to follow in order to become a Grand Duchy. Right now we have 2 Grand Duchies. Yay! That was not meant to be sarcastic. Sorry, I'm tired. Basically what Yorick wants to do is there are 2 sections in it.
11 requires the DOD to approve it, and the DOD doesn't need to be, like, that's out of their job qualification or whatever, I think you should say. They take care of the real life business. This is our in-game business, and the COM already has to take care of all this the same way we would bring a park in. So it doesn't, like, the BOD doesn't even want to be in charge of this. So this is just removing section 10 and 11 from the BOD being involved in promoting Grand Duchy. That's the change.
I actually do have a question on this. So, how would this? Because I know Grand Duchies are not they don't have to have a corpora because they're following Rising Winds ones. Then, would the next logical step be Principality? Also gets removed from getting BOD approval when they.
They are becoming their own, like, corporation, so they need to have BOD.
Okay.
The
I
Grand
know someone.
Duchy-
I know someone might take that step. That might take this to the next step. So.
Yeah, they would still have to do it.
Okay. So this would essentially be turning this into a COM issue,
Yeah,
like we
Grand
do when
Duchy
we,
would be COM.
yeah, return the Grand Duchy elevation to a COM issue. The same thing we do when we elevate shires to baronies or demote or anything.
Good question. I know that sometimes the Grand Duchy can invite their own before if they want to. Should that get approved by
Okay,
the BOD?
so what has to happen, the DOD has basically said that they want every park, if there is, basically if a Grand Duchy wants to add additional amendments to the Rising Winds Corpora, they would have to have every park that is in the Grand Duchy have a yes vote to support it. It's self-governing within each park, the way we already do things. This lets the BOD not have to worry about this and do something there.
Yeah, and just another point on this, like both Grand Duchies kind of got blindsided by a BOD decision, by the decision to try to, there was a decision to try to try to postpone the both Grand Duchies last time. Was that just March?
March.
Yeah. So, and both Grand Duchies were kind of blindsided by it, so I think that that's part of the benefit of kind of taking it back to the COM rather than the BOD. Like there weren't requirements in the corpora that the BOD came back and told both Grand Duchies about.
It was also a matter of, there was a corpora, you guys had sent us a corpora, and not all parks that were listed under it had ratified, had voted on it, I'm sorry. So that was the concern, that you were essentially telling somebody else to
At the risk of changing a little bit, a parks membership within a Grand Duchy is 100% voluntary.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, that's not the conversation. This is not what we're talking about.
Hang
We're
on.
talking about removing the BOD decision on Grand Duchy approval to be for elevation. That's all we're talking
My
about.
point was more in support of why I felt like it makes sense to remove them. But yeah, I agree.
That's fine. Yep, we're good. I just
Their job.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
their
so-
decision is to bring people into the Rising Winds. We're already part of the Rising Winds for Grand Duchy. This is for elevation.
Yes.
So that's what we're removing.
Yeah.
10 and 11 are just removing
Yeah.
that conversation of the BOD must approve this. They are going to be following the corpora of the Rising Winds. If that change must occur, they must do so through with a 100% unanimous vote or all parts in the Grand Duchy. That is all. There's no change in that aspect. The only thing that's changing is for elevation from whatever to a Grand Duchy is done through COM approval of the Rising Winds. That's it. That is what we were talking about.
Yes.
Motion to vote, anybody? Yes? Motion to vote? Is it seconded?
All right, all in favor of removing those
Two
two
pieces.
pieces?
Any against? Excellent. It passed.
Yay. Okay, next one. Is from Katie, who's not Skippy, in case you don't know.
Is this the one for the Grand Duchy?
No, this was. She has a few of them. Move along. Where am I? She did tell me that anything that wasn't codified or that she put in the format we can drop. I literally copy pasted these. So.
Sure.
Why isn't she? Oh no, wait, no, she's not here.
Okay. So, I remember talking about this. One of the ones that Katie wants to do, she wants the requirements in our qual entries to be codified that they must be completed primarily by the person entering them. Currently, you can use pieces of someone else's stuff to put together to make your own thing, but if that's not primarily made by you and just kind of put together, that is kind of against what we're wanting to do for qualifications. So that's what she wants to ratify, I believe, in the corpora for qual.
Yes.
For that one,
Yeah.
and then
Well, okay, let's start with that one.
so basically we're going to ratify the corpora in the qual section to just indicate that it must be primarily completed by you. My only concern is, do we want, yeah?
I was gonna say, we used to have a like 75% rule, or
Right.
something like that. With the last,
I
when we did our big overhaul, that got cut out and not put back in. So basically, we're wanting to add something back in that says, hey, you need to make most of it.
I've heard as high as 90%.
Basically, just make your own shit.
Yeah, make your shit.
Yeah?
I don't think we're putting a percentage on it. I think we're okay.
But if we-
It's fine, but we need to have.
I think we need to have a percentage just because I can easily see someone going, well, I half did the work or like,
Primarily means you did
but,
more.
but
I was always told 90s, so that's why I've been following the whole thing.
I've always was told 90.
That's fine. Okay.
So
Sorry, how does this apply for materials? Let's say you're building weapons. I mean,
That's in part. That's why we're saying primarily. You did not make Frost King, or you did not make the golf club or the kite spire.
Yeah,
that is an
You're
unknown entity.
we are not requiring you to make your own graphite, weave your own linen. Okay, if you can make your own graphite and weave your own linen, that just adds to your score. You're super awesome. But we're not
Yeah,
requiring
you're good. No,
you.
that's
I figured that's why I brought it up, because if we're codifying it and we're codifying it in a percentage, then okay, well I bought this fabric, so
Well, it's a percentage of the craft.
Of the craftsmanship.
Not a percentage of the supplies that go into the craft also.
yeah, not the supplies. Like supplies is not consideration. Like basically, it's like taking a painting and then adding to a painting. Don't do that. Well, again, that's also subject, but that's why it was removed, sort of, and not re-added in the first place. But it's not.
I'm not against it.
Right.
I just wanted to find a clear delineation, because it seems like you can call anything materials if you do sufficient work on that item.
But then yes.
So I don't, like for instance, I know somebody, you took someone else's store and rebuilt it. How much is that a new item? Because they didn't do all the work. They certainly didn't, you know, core it, but they had to refoam it. They did a lot of work. So I wouldn't call that 90%, but it certainly deserves
It's primarily.
recognition.
That's why it's
So,
primarily.
okay.
Rather than a percentage, because yes, there's way too many gray areas for what 90% means for a product. So right now it's just primarily done by the artist or creator. Twilight first.
Yeah. I mean, I say let's set it to like 75%, and if the judges want to bump it to 90 or whatever, I mean.
I just prefer the primarily.
Yeah.
I don't think we need a number.
I prefer primarily.
Rickus?
So this is where like the rule gets a little gray to me. Like when I made my shield, like half the fucking battle was having the foam already like a shield blank. I know that's materials, but like where does that line draw? If you're just throwing a cover on a shield, throwing some straps and a cover on a shield blank, that's not.
Yeah, that's primarily you, because that's all material. If you made the shield cover, you put the straps in, you put the shield cover on the straps. That's a working piece of equipment. Like as long as you made the shield cover, that's primarily by you. If you didn't make the shield cover, then that might not be primarily you. What if you didn't cut the foam? I mean, still, like if you got the foam and you made it. I mean, we're talking about like there has to be a level of like when we're talking about primarily, right? That's why we're not saying let's codify it to a number, because like that's the same conversation that we were having right there. Like I didn't, you know, my breed made this sword. You did most of the work in the end, even if you didn't like happen to find the core on your own. So, Fish.
I actually have 2 points. I'll just say one of them for now. I thought this was sort of inherently part of ANS anyway. Like that's how things are judged based on how much work that gets put into it.
It's not in the corpora.
Does it need to be?
Yes.
Okay.
It's more or less right now, at this point in time, it's more of a cultural understanding, but there are people that don't understand the culture or would argue against this unspoken rule.
So we're making it a spoken rule.
Yes.
Because
or written.
Because it could be a loophole. It could be used. It may not be used, but it could be. So.
Sorry, I wasn't first. He was up before me, and there was
Gail?
So, in terms of the primarily wording, where does that fall, like for culinary entries, if I use someone else's recipe to prepare this dish?
You are preparing the dish. It is not.
You are the dish. We're judging the dish, not the recipe.
Not the recipe. Unless you claim it is your recipe.
I have a counterpoint to all this.
Well, yeah. What's up, sir?
Every one of these, how does this affect this, how does this affect this, how does this affect this, is all perfect examples as to why the word primarily is better than a percentage.
Oh, yeah.
You're all proving it.
Yeah.
absolutely. My question is, like, has this been being abused, or is this something we're trying to get ahead of?
Why not be proactive? That's
I believe it did come up at Qualls last time, which is why Skippy recommended it. So it's kind of it has come up, but at the same time we're trying to be proactive. If that makes sense. Okay, York.
Who makes the judgment? Is the regent or the person running the tournament?
I would say it would be the person running the tournament, and most of the time it's probably going to be the regent. Like it could be just the one and the same person. If it's not, it would be the tournament runner's call, because that's normally how we do anything else. Yeah, and the person running the tournament is in charge of the tournament. Their rules, their house. York.
So, York.
Hey. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, all in favor of requiring Qualls entries to have been completed primarily by the person entering them.
Any opposed? Sweet, passed. Great.
Yay. Okay. The next one is there's a also from Skiffy, removal of line item under 4.2.1.3, number 8. The monarch can strip awards or titles from the person with agreement from the BOD members. her argument is the BOD should not be involved in in-game things, same thing as York's Grand Duchy. Basically, if we want to strip somebody of their titles, awards, and everything, it goes to Althing C March.
Right.
This basically takes the BOD from having an in-game presence out of game.
Yes, great.
Clarification on that, isn't it? You're talking about stripping awards, correct?
Yes.
So that's, the court says it's between the king, it can be between three things right now. It's the king, the GMR, king, prime minister, or an all thing with a 2/3 vote. But either way, it's under the king's thing. So I understand that,
That's for banning, I
That's
believe.
No, it's for removing awards.
Okay.
It's the same thing as banning our corpora.
Okay.
I suggested underneath of that comment thread that we should just remove those from the king's section and move it to an all thing, but I didn't actually.
Then I say I would table that then until we can make sure that the verification of that is correct. Because if there's no reason to vote on a BOD matter that's not actually a BOD matter now, then.
Well, I don't know if
No.
is involved like, as well, but I'm saying that
Right.
like all thing doesn't even have to be involved in moving someone's titles and awards.
Okay.
It's literally just the king and like well right now me or fish.
Right.
Like all thing is only an option.
Well, apparently the BOD can also strip awards.
Yeah, I think that was the point, was that BOD should not have say over that 30 thing where it says the BOD can strip awards or remove awards. That should be taken out.
Yeah.
So that's what we're voting on.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, seconded.
All right. All in favor?
Sweet. All opposed? Cool, pass, great.
All right. Next one would be remove the secretary for BOD meetings to the duty from PM to treasurer.
Pretty
Yeah.
self-explanatory.
So again, this is the same conversation that we had. We have to split
With
it
the
now
splitting.
because this was the same person until now. So, yes, sir. Hey, seconded.
Second.
All in favor of separating that in the corporate and make that a known entity? Thank you. Any opposed? Sweet, pass. Moving on.
All right. There is a wording issue in the Kingdom Prime Minister election section. It only talks about Fall Weapon Master, Dragon Master as their election time. Directly after that, it talks about the Guildmaster Reeves, the Summer Weapon Master, Dragon Master, being a Kingdom Prime Minister election time. What the fuck?
Okay, so basically what she's talking about is that in 4.3.2, we talk about Fall WM and DM as the election time for the KPM, and then we have immediately after that GMR talking about the Summer WM DM being the KPM election time, which is incorrect because they're all at the exact same time.
This
Change.
is just kind of align it.
Yeah, it's just aligning that to make that actually correct for what we actually currently do, which is Summer WMDM is the same election time for KPM.
Someone put the wrong acronyms in the right place.
Correct, yes, just switch them. So.
Yeah, we basically just Yorick.
Seconded. All in favor of making that change to make that just known? Excellent. All opposed? Sweet, it passed.
All right. Also, Skippy also had Grand Duchies wishing to implement their own corpora in addition to the RW corpora must have the final Grand Duchy corpora ratified by a simple majority. It will be implemented and it will be recorded and reported to Kingdom Prime Minister. I think we agreed on.
Yes.
Yeah. This is just.
So this is to change from the 100% unanimous corpora ratification for the Grand Duchy to be a simple majority for the Grand Duchy to be able to ratify a corpora for their
This is when you
Grand
guys have a
Duchy.
corpora with
Right.
with the majority.
Right. Yes.
Just one simple clarification. This is like parks, not total citizenship within the parks, right?
Correct. Correct. Yeah. It's like a COM essentially. Yes.
Yeah, cool.
That was my question.
Yeah, have a
Yeah.
vote.
Yeah. Yeah. Each
Pass it.
right. Each citizen's going to vote. If your park doesn't get it, then that park would say our park did not say yes.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
that
yeah.
must be a simple majority.
Just wanted to 100%.
Yeah. So you would need. So out of 6 parks, you would need like 4.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right.
Motion vote. Seconded. All in favor of doing this change to the corpora for Grand Duchies? All opposed? Sweet, it passed.
All right. Next one is Seb. He wanted to clean. He had a presentation about.
Mine's a little long. I'm sorry.
Okay. Next one. Well, no. Also because Barles falls under.
Part of Barles can be affected.
Drop mine.
You want to drop yours?
Drop mine because it needs to be dented.
Amended.
Because I
Band-aid. Double band-aid.
Okay, so, all right, we're gonna table yours.
Tabling.
All right, next one, from Kate Orby, which I don't think she's here. Okay, she proposed a probationary period after an award title belt is stripped of the knight in question. You must wait at least 2 years in order to earn that back.
So if someone gets their belt stripped, they can't get it back the very next event.
This was brought up because in March somebody brought up the whole, well, someone can just turn around and re-knight one of the knights.
Rigus.
In my opinion, this is a solution in search of a problem. Elect better monarchs.
Varl, is that similar?
If we got a problem with the reward that's given by the monarch, we just remove the monarch from power.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Not only that, but we shouldn't really put time limits or stipulations because it's hard to gauge if someone is going to make an adjustment in 2 years. Also, the only time that we've actually ever stripped someone of their belt, we've also stripped them of their rewards.
Yes.
Which
So
isn't...
that's what we could do, and that's what you could do to stop them. Yes, they may still have crown points, but again, that points back to the monarch. You know, if a monarch gives someone back their belt before the populace thinks that they should have it, then the next Althing, we need to be like, vote of no confidence.
Hey, you're not cool.
And then we take it back.
No, that was essentially...
I just have a question. So when they're not stripped of all the work going up to that night belt?
Those are two separate entities because...
What I said is the only time we have stripped someone's belt, we also strip their award.
Yeah, all of this. We did, like, as a populace last March, we did this. So,
We did this.
like, this is a thing that has occurred. We stripped them of their belts, and then second motion was strip them of their awards. Both of those things passed. That is what she is discussing.
Because I really think if you're stripped of your belt for some reason, there's an obvious reason, there's a problem, that they should have to earn from round one that belt all over.
And that's why that belt happened. You would have to make that happen every time, though. That's not a knee-jerk thing. Yes, Anna?
Well, I could see there would be maybe some issues where you strip someone of their knighthood, but do not strip them all their awards. So now, and I know
Yes.
that's what Kate is like
Yeah.
for. But I agree though with them saying that the
And
monarch.
if we're taking their belt and the populace wants to take their awards, we've proven we can do it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
If we don't though, like I said,
That's
it's
okay,
pretty much
yeah.
check and balance by the monarch, by us being able to remove
Yes.
the monarch, and then also then going through and removing their awards if that's the issue.
Yes. If it's like, well, monarch, you should have done that, I guess we should have forethought.
Yeah, so I don't think it's.
Come on.
I think this rule gives us no flexibility. I'm just saying, like, as soon as, it means we're not able to tailor a punishment to what happened. It means that if you punish somebody, you have to just,
Right.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Theoretically, if somebody gets their belt stripped, aren't they gonna be banned anyways?
Sometimes. Those are not necessarily one and the same, but
Yeah.
most times,
Also,
yes.
I think Fish.
Is this retroactive?
No.
No, this is not retroactive. This would be
So we
starting
can knight
from
Danny
day-
next to
You could.
Yeah, this would be starting from here going forward.
I'm in motion to vote since I think that most of us are along the same mindset.
All right, all in favor of adding this to our corpora? All against? Did not pass.
All right, and with that, since Kate's did not pass, then Watts expanding it to all awards and titles, so not just knights. Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Can't happen because it didn't exist.
Okay.
All right, guys. All right, so
As it stands right now, we have in the board for the subgroups, it lists a thing of,
Do you have it up on your phone? Oh, it's
that follow the kingdom corpora except for exceptions in here. The only exceptions listed are exit titles and requirements for qualifications. We've got, the section looks unfinished. As it currently stands right now, you can be a shire with 3 people, but you require 5 officers.
this is true. I know this.
And that's 4 officers, because we don't get a GMR.
Correct. We do not have a GMR.
4 officers per shire.
Actually, that's not
It's
worded that
not
way anymore.
dictated. I think it's an unspoken.
It's not worded that way anymore in the report.
It's not worded that way anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The other point other basis on this, and then I'll go out individual points, is one that Varl was a dick on, and he tried to declare for all the offices in all the parks.
He is the Senate.
So, the points I'm going to do, one is taking all additions and exceptions and putting them into one section, so basic formatting issues, that's beside it. Then, okay, so, under adding chapter officer additions, chapter officers must keep the definitions of occasionally participate as defined in section 2.2.2 for the chapter that they hold office. For shires, baronies, and duchies, officers must have the chapter in which they hold office as their home park as defined in section 2.2.2. For grand duchies and principalities, officers must have any shire, barony, or duchy within the chapter in which they hold office as their home park as defined by 2.2.2. So basically this in a way makes it so they have to be a citizen of where they're an officer.
Weird.
So no more Senate.
No more senating.
You want me to finish, or you want to ask questions on that part first? There's more.
On that specific part.
Okay.
So, if you're an officer at your park though, you have 4 weekends at least that you're not going to be at your park if Weapon Master, Dragon Master, and Crown Falls for the Kingdom lands in those days, as well as the 2 Kingdom events. And those would not be covered.
No, in terms of this doesn't change anything on that. You have to have 7 sign-ins at your park in the last 6 months.
But you said also like the sign-in. Okay,
You just have to be a citizen of your park.
Yeah, you have to have 7 sign-ins in your park in the last 6 months, and you have to have that park as your home park.
Well, see,
i.e. your credits are there.
So, Mike, I guess let me. I want to ask a really quick question because I think I know where Amanda was coming from.
Okay.
Like, currently, if I, as I'm a citizen of Porter Winter Night, right? Since I am that guy, I go to Porter Winter Night 6 times, and I go to WMDM. Currently, as it stands, I'm still a citizen because my WMDM for Kingdom counted towards my citizenship.
In the Kingdom, yes.
But then I'm not a citizen of the park.
Well, right now there's no definition for citizen of the park. There's one definition of citizen.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not just that.
It's
too.
citizen of the park, it's
Technically,
citizen of the kingdom. It's one and the same.
technically, if you're going to apply this, it's also going to apply to the 4-week rule in a row, and also the 6 or whatever 6 weeks during your reign.
So I think
those are actually an aside. Those
okay.
That wouldn't be effective one way.
So is this? So are we just saying that to be a monarch of a park, you must have your credits in that park?
You must have your credits in the park. You must actually be attending that park.
I'm against making all 7 of your sign-ins have to be at your park because we've always allowed Kingdom sign-ins to count for your citizenship.
I'm quite frankly, I'm worried about like I'm a good example. My credits are in VTR. I played in VTR a total of 4 times in the last year.
Then you should change your home park.
I haven't been in any park more than 4 times in the last year. I've been to a bunch of parks.
You're a terrible answer.
Yes, but
I mean, you're not running for monarch. I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, it's just like my thing is like.
Quite frankly, that was just to try and go off of something we already have codified in before without trying to codify more.
Right.
I'll admit that was to try and not add a ton of new shit.
Well, I think the only thing that we should codify for that, and we can figure it out and it's fine, we can go forward. But I think the only thing you should have is you must be a citizen of the Rising Winds and have your credits in that park that you want to run for.
Yeah, you need to have.
They need to be your.
Yeah, it needs to be at
Period.
You can only run for an office at your
That's all
home
you have to put. You can only run
Yeah.
for local office, like chapter office.
office.
At your
Okay,
home park.
Yeah, at your
so-
home park. Yeah,
so-
sorry. Yeah.
I mean, that's.
I'm okay with it.
No, yeah, you're good.
Is there any other concerns on that?
I would just like to point out that this does not cover declaring for multiple kingdom offices, and we have tabled that matter to be rectified at the next all thing,
Correct.
whatever. Just to clarify.
Yeah.
So you can still declare for all kingdom offices, but if you don't, it's a wasted gimmick because I already did it.
True. Yes.
This is for all park offices, right?
Yes.
And both retroactive.
No.
No, it's not retroactive.
So,
Hardly ever can we do
well, I
that.
guess she said anyone that is currently holding an office.
Wouldn't get
is not-
screwed in
That's what I was figuring.
Correct.
Seth, basically this stops people from other parks trying to snipe an election at.
At a park they don't fucking play.
Correct.
Okay.
this first part of this. He has
Yeah.
more.
Okay. No,
No,
there's more.
no, there's more.
There's more. I'm a dick. All right. Now, the second part is chapter officer exemptions. Now, what I'm proposing, number one, a shire is only required to have a monarch. All duties from any offices that are not being held in any shire become the duties of the shire's monarch. Part two, a barony is only required to have a monarch, a prime minister, and a champion. All duties from any offices that are not being held in any barony become the duties of the barony's monarch. So that makes it so you're required to have less officers, but you can still function as a party.
And you can't do their offices.
You can have other, like, he's not saying
You can have other, you're
you
just
don't,
not
you
required
don't
to
give
have
them. He's saying you just don't have to have them to function.
Okay. My biggest problem with this one is if you have only one officer that's elected, it can become a banning issue if the monarch wants to be a dick.
Yeah,
So you
I'd
need
say
two officers.
I'd say too, yeah.
And I would
because-
suggest a monarch and a PM.
That's essentially. I mean, so I've been working on rebuilding the Shire that is now technically probationary with you guys in the Rising Wind, and like we have all of them currently, but I basically when I talked to them, I was like, honestly, who needs to be there and always understanding what's going on, like all the time, is the sheriff and the PM, because it's just checks and balances. But
Okay. The only thing I would point out there, only having one in control, sometimes mundane shit gets in our way, so you need a second officer to at least balance it out. Because I think it's in the Kapora where an officer must be present to actually have a part in it, right?
the only sad caveat I will have is that Seb is just making a bare minimum statement, guys.
Okay.
So what I want to like as an aside for Seb, he is just saying as a minimum requirement. This isn't saying that this is all you have. So I mean, yes, I don't disagree that we shouldn't have more than one, but I'm saying like when you have 3 people, you know, right now we say 3 people can be a shire, right? And we're saying, but you must also now have a KPM and a monarch. I mean, what like that's why it's different. That's why I'm saying like.
There are banning policies.
I know.
And for the rule, is it in the ROP monarch? And we can't. That's what I'm
Pretty sure
thinking.
we can't change
I
that.
don't think we can, because I think it's in the rules under the code of conduct, in our rules of play, it says the monarch and the kingdom PM are the monarch and the GMR for banning people,
Right.
for the COC, so we can't. It
Well,
has to be
that means that we don't have to worry about the one monarch banning people.
Now see, this is the thing.
He
where I
can't.
really have-
No, but he takes the responsibilities of the PM. Or
Right, but he's not.
I'm okay with.
You want to table this?
The first portion, because you're not done, right? So,
There was one other portion.
Okay.
I do want to go over it, and I'm okay with tabling. At this point, my plan is to adjust, add PM to the Shire.
Yep.
And, remove the attendance aspect of the one. So that's where we're at right now.
Can you separate, like, you have a lot of things.
Yeah, no, the thought is, we're gonna table this and I'm gonna separate them out.
that's cool. Because it's all good stuff. I mean, it's stuff that
Yeah.
will help
Yes.
us in the long run, for sure.
But I want to get out the last part also, so we have it out here. Chapter event exemptions. Shires and baronies are not required to hold Dragon Master or Weapon Master events.
I agree with that, honestly. I'm sorry, when you have 4 people and you require them to run a Weapon Master, Dragon Master, that's rough, guys. Like, it is.
Yeah, who are the judges? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just on that aspect.
Why couldn't you have all given this input the last month and a half?
I did.
Real life,
What?
for the, I know in our former report, I'm pretty sure in our current, it does say that you can run with Master Dragon Master on your mid-range in the same day.
We actually can do that, even at a kingdom level. I know a lot of kingdoms do that.
Because we're gonna do that at Harbor on the 25th.
Fuck that, don't do it.
Because, no, I'm not saying I want to do that because I think that takes away from the event. I'm saying like that is our call.
Yeah. So I'm saying, I didn't think they need to be codified because that's already codified. That
Hey.
you can.
Well, I think the problem is that we still must do it.
Yeah.
Is what he's removing.
Yeah.
So like
I don't feel
it's
Shriners and Berries should have to have.
It's not that he can't
Whether
run
they
it.
combine with something else is beside the point.
Because all of us already have our 3 of everything, and we're like, well.
Well, no,
There's a part of that too. That's an aspect of that.
Yeah.
Is that like?
but it leaves the option if the smaller parts want to run that to them instead of fucking requiring them to.
Which means hypothetically someone with a rules lawyer aspect could come in and say, this shire's not doing what they're doing.
And
All right, anyway, we're gonna table this, I mean, or do you have something?
If we no longer have Weapon Master or whoever the police person is.
we don't have that. Yeah.
War Master, Dragon Master.
Yeah, they no longer have job responsibilities in our Kapora, so that it's no longer a required thing that we have to do. So,
By the court or right now?
no, like the Weapon Master and Dragon Master have no responsibilities.
Just the term.
But no, I'm talking about not talking about the title. I'm talking about the event.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the title of the
Basically,
person.
what I'm saying is we don't need to have the tournaments as a requirement.
Right.
Because the jobs are no longer there.
It's just a fancy bragging right.
Right.
thing.
You no longer earn any position to do something outside of I'm Dragon Master, keep up with me, bro.
I've always associated Weapon Master, Dragon Master with the PMOA.
You know, it's a lower one. I don't agree taking it from the higher one.
Okay, we don't have crop calls for the PM, but this is the event that coordinates with that.
The safety net's still on there because it says that the elections are supposed to be held at the time of these events. It doesn't say it has to be held with those events. Right. So if you don't have those events, you can still.
Then you can still do it.
I mean, technically, there's no requirement for judges or events at a Weapon Master Dragon Master.
Correct.
So you could just say, okay, we're holding Dragon Master.
Yeah, right. But right now, if a Shire doesn't want to run the Weapon Master, they can choose to talk out of it, but this way they don't even have to do that.
Right.
I'm just saying, though.
Yeah, no. Okay, so I'm totally down for tabling this. I will split it into 3 separate proposals. I will fix those 2 issues. Thank you on.
All right, so we are tabling this for November.
But it's all good stuff.
So, all right, motion. Someone.
Motion.
Motion second.
All right. All right. Tabled.
And it's closed.
And it's closed.